Alright, I want you guys to focus up here. I want to show you something. It's confusing because... Alright, Eric, can you do me a favor? Can you sit down, please? Eric. Alright, it is confusing because I think there's one basic thing that we're not getting. Okay, so let's just start extremely basic. Okay, if I use these beads, what color do you want to be what color do you want to be, let's make water. What color do you want to be hydrogen?
Red.
Okay, so let's just say I took two reds and I put them on this scale. So two reds, and hopefully this works. Two reds right here. Okay? Now let's say I want to use blue for oxygen, so I'm putting two blue. Excuse me, one blue, two hydrogen. So right now I have one water on this side. Eric, you getting that? Alright, if I put two reds, because I know there's two hydrogens on the left side, you're right. Okay, what am I going to have to add for the scale to be balanced?
A water, a blue.
A blue. Okay, why am I adding a blue?
Because it's lighter.
The scale is uneven, so what it's showing is on that table it's going to say, what am I going to put on this side to make it even? So with beads you can do it, with numbers we're struggling. It's easier. Alright, very good. So, and actually it does balance out. My scale functions. Nice. Okay? The two equaled out because I had one. So I asked you, how am I going to put here to add? Okay? Let's do one more. Okay? Let's say that I put, right now I put, doesn't matter what color, I'm going to put 10 beads. So 10, very easy number for us to work with. I got 10 beads on the left side. Okay? And let's just say that this happens to be water. Let's just say I have to have 10 beads weight worth of water. I know that 3 of the weights, okay, 3 of the beads, Jalen, come from oxygen. I know that. Or let's use hydrogen. I know that 3 of the beads come from hydrogen. So what is the weight or mass of the oxygen in there? 7. So if I put 7 beads on there, will my scale balance out? Yeah, it will. So I can either go ahead and put 3, and I can put 7. Okay? And if my scale works, it pretty much does. It's a little off, but there's 10 beads on each side. It's how balanced. Okay? You are doing the same thing here. The left side is the reactants. That's one side of the balance scale. The right side is products. Okay, so Eric, you did really well with that sort of activity. You're like, I get it with beads, I don't get it with numbers. Okay, let's take a look back to where we were at. And I really, really want to play Jeopardy, so we're going to have to go through this. David, you looking up here? I'm not doing all of them. Alright, so if I take a look at here, let's take a look at the left one. Okay? I have a reaction. It's aluminum hydroxide on the left side for number 6. Aluminum hydroxide. Okay? And if I want to do a reaction, maybe I have to heat this up. Michaela up here. Eric. Okay? Listen, I understand you guys are like, oh, it's not a math class, it's science. But really, I've said this before, and I don't mean to upset anyone, but these math skills aren't something that we should be learning. Okay? You got to use your skills you learn in other classes. Just like you would learn how to read in Miss Franklin's class, you would apply them here. These should be skills we've got. Okay? Jalen up here. Okay, so lastly, let me repeat myself. I don't know how much aluminum hydroxide I started with, but I know I ended with 21.8 grams of aluminum oxide and 9.7 grams of H2O. So, 9.7. Okay, so if I have these two on the left side of the scale, I've got 21 pounds and 9.7 pounds. You're more familiar with this, 21.8, 9.7. What do I need to add to this side to make it even?
So we got to add that up first.
All you do is add this up. Yeah.
All right, so that's.
So you're adding this. Did you say it out loud? You added it incorrect. So all you're doing is adding those two. It would be 31.5 to balance that out. Thank you, Eric. Now, everybody else, I'm sorry, but we have to move on or else we'll never get through everything we have planned. There's other stuff we have to review. Okay? Jared, thank you for helping out there, by the way. Okay. I told Keyshawn I'd help him out during lunch with this table. If you need help, Keyshawn, when you tell all your classmates, Ryan, see Mr. Maloney if you need help with this table at lunch.
See Mr. Maloney.
Not right now. Everybody knows right now. Okay. So we are a little bit behind time. We get into 10 minutes, which gives us 10 minutes for Jeopardy. Okay, I'm going to try to cut this down to 4 minutes. 4 questions, 1 minute question. That includes review time. Okay. If you guys would, Jasmine, would you please take the time to go ahead and answer these 4 questions? If you finish early, go ahead and work right here, okay? And then what I want you guys to do, as soon as both you and the person next to you and your table partner finish, okay, compare your answers to see what you and your partner had. Okay, so 4 minutes for that, 4 minutes for questions. So all 4. There's 2 minutes up. David, you got the first question. David, in a chemical reaction is a process in which what happens? What happens in a chemical reaction? A. You believe it's A. It might be. So is A, products change into reactants? B, the law of conservation of mass applies? C, substances change? Or D, all the above? Okay, David, what is your answer?
A.
A, you believe it's A. Let me tell you this. For number 1, it's A plus something else. What else happens in a chemical reaction?
C.
C, so we're saying A and C happen. What's the only logical choice? Let's take a look at C. Substances do change states. I make gases, I make liquids, solids. Okay? So, going back to that, what's the only answer here that makes sense?
C.
No. If A and C are both logical choices, what would it be? D as a dog, all the above.
Yeah.
Alright, number 2.
What number one?
Have you guys ever seen? We didn't. We didn't even do number 2. Number 1. The correct answer, number 1, would be DS Doug. All the above. All of those happen.
I told her.
Okay. During a chemical reaction, is it A, new elements are produced, B, atoms are rearranged, C, atoms are destroyed, or D, elements are destroyed? Atoms are rearranged. So in the carbon cycle, they were rearranged to form CO2, they're rearranged to form sugar. Okay. Ari, how am I going to balance the equation? Am I going to change the subscript? Am I going to add coefficients? Am I going to erase elements as necessary? Or D, am I going to add elements?
What was number 8? What was number 1?
B, I'm going to add a coefficient.
What was number 8?
Alright, what are the reactants to the following chemical equation? This one was tough. You'll see one like this tomorrow. I won't throw a copper 2 at you.
B.
A.
Zinc and copper 2 sulfate. Okay? Zn would be zinc. If you need a periodic table, I'll give you one for tomorrow. Alright?
Number 4 was C.
So it went D, A, B, C. Yasmin up here.
It went D, A, C.
D, A, B, C. Let's pay a little bit better
D,
attention.
A, B, C.
Yes. Okay. So everybody, can you guys just give your focus up here one last time? Okay? I'm sorry it's not the most exciting thing. I wanted to rattle off exactly what you'll see tomorrow. I'll give you some sample questions. The format will look exactly like this for the quiz tomorrow. If you can't do this, you probably will not do well on the quiz tomorrow. It's in your best interest, okay, to really pay good attention on this. What? It's to help you out. Because it's your last one, and my grades are due Friday. Okay? So if anybody fails this, if anybody fails this, I would be able to give you a makeup grade for it. Because grades are already due. Okay? So it's in your best interest to focus. Alright, very last one. Okay? As far as the balancing chemical equations, David, you go back to the back where we started. As far as we go with this, David. As far as we're going like this, can you guys just do me a huge favor? I need you guys to label each reaction as synthesis, decomposition, replacement, or combustion. If you have extra time, go ahead and balance them. I will put a little bit easier questions tomorrow on your assessment for balancing the chemical equation. These ones are pretty tough.